Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from Lincoln, America. Here's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
Husker Online, Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
And longtime college football assistant coach, Bill Busch.
I want to buy a couple ducks. I'm bringing 2 ducks to the office.
This is Early Break.
Good morning. Happy Monday to you. Steve Sipple is back from a short trip to Memphis. Bill Busch out today. I am Jake Sorensen. Hope you had a great weekend watching some football, watching some depressing Nebraska basketball. There's always a home game this week, though, coming up to get hopefully back on track against a ranked Wisconsin team. Sip, how are you? You're back from a quick vacation to Tennessee.
Memphis, yes. Memphis
is Tennessee last time I checked.
Yeah, it is.
Confirming that.
Memphis. I never feel like you're really going to Tennessee, but you are. You're right.
Why?
Because you're just in that
Is
little...
Nashville, Tennessee to you or something?
Because you're right over the Arkansas border. You're just right. I mean, it almost feels like a cross between Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas.
Is that right?
Yeah. But it was a great trip. As I told you, I'm going to have to rename the book.
And the book, for those who are curious, is I Missed Out on All the Fun, right? That was the book title?
Yeah, after this month, you got to start thinking about renaming it.
So you still have missed out on quite a bit in your life. But
I have.
What would the change of the title be now?
I'm starting to have more fun.
See, I wish you had written the first one so you had you could have a follow-up. I'm starting to have some fun.
I'm starting to have some damn fun.
We missed out by you not having the first book published. Then you could just say, hey, you know what? Things are changing around here. We're having fun now.
Yeah, I took 3 of the boys down there, and it was really interesting. I don't want to hijack this show with this trip. We went to Memphis to see the Magic play the Grizzlies, which was fun. Jake, there's a lot of weirdness about the trip that you would find not fun. But I always find things very interesting, like going to the Holiday. Maybe I shouldn't say the name of the hotel. The hotel we stayed was right across from the Peabody.
You've already said it. Just finish the hotels now.
Holiday Inn.
There we go.
Downtown Holiday Inn, and it's a high-rise Holiday Inn right across from the Peabody downtown. We walked in, and there's the really bad leaking. I mean,
leaking.
Yeah, buckets all over the lobby. One of the elevators isn't working. And we didn't have any hot water. We didn't have any hot water Thursday night, Friday night, or Saturday night, which the boys ages 23, 18, 14, they're okay with, I guess.
You can't do a cold shower, though.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't.
It's not fun. You have to prepare yourself mentally for a cold shower.
I wasn't thrilled with it. The hotel was in a good location. The boys never once complained, which I really appreciate about them. The whole hotel experience was fascinating. The carpet on our floor, the 14th floor, was soggy. I mean, when you walked, you could hear it was splashy. But again,
when you walked into the place, was this?
Yes, it was not good. It was a bad but on the other hand, the hotel was right where it needed to be, but 3 blocks from Beale Street, 4 or 5 blocks from maybe 6 blocks from the arena. So it was fine. It was all very centrally located. The funnest thing I probably did just as an individual is I stole away to a place called the Rum Boogie on Saturday. The boys don't want me around all the time, right?
Yeah, come on. Leave us alone, old man. I'm just trying. That's my assumption.
I think you nailed that.
That's my assumption.
Yeah, I think you nailed that.
I'm just speaking on behalf of them right now.
So like the good and bad, Jake. I loved Beale Street, but there was nobody there. Beale Street was dead.
Why?
They're having problems.
What do you mean they're having problems?
I talked to the locals and
tourism problems.
Well, yeah. These last 6 months have been a very bad period for Beale Street, and I'm here to tell you on a Saturday night I was there. And I would say 100 people.
What?
Yeah. I'm telling you. No, it was around 6. It wasn't the height of Beale
6
Street.
o'clock is still a time that should be busy.
Exactly. But okay, 100. Yeah.
What the locals didn't tell you why? What the problem is?
Yeah, it's a rough time for Memphis. The economy's rough. It's tax season. But I talked to a shop owner and she said, "Oh, it's been horrible. We had a day in one of their shops, a premier shop. It's like a double. It's like a double store. It takes up what would be usually 2 stores, and they had like a $200 day recently. $200 day recently.
Very strange.
I mean, I spent $200 in one shot in there. Kind of strange, Jake, but not right. Economy, Memphis again it's a rough period for Memphis. But we didn't have any problems, and it was fun. Fun. I don't want to act like I'm Lewis and Clark here, but you know that it's right by the Mississippi.
I did know that. Yeah,
so you get really good seafood, and the boys love that. We went to this place called the Flying Fish twice, and I had rainbow trout, and it was incredible. So it was fun. It was super fun. I'm glad I got away.
The game itself,
it was incredible.
Magic.
Now I don't want to get into this because you don't like the NBA.
Well, I like hearing about your trips and your travels and your fun, which never happens anymore.
I love going to NBA games because the production is out of the world good. Like the whole production is crazy good. They have like a live band playing right before the game, and then halftime.
Yeah, it's
everything from that to just the way it's scripted. And the game itself was great. It was the Memphis won in the last second. So it was, I love going to NBA games. And the boys are already talking about next year. So we'll do it again.
So wait, your game ended on a buzzer beater then?
Mm-hmm.
So
no, Joe Ingles missed a shot.
Okay.
Joe Ingles, not that anybody cares about this. I understand the Magic.
We're just finishing a story here. Okay. It's fine.
The Magic and the Grizzlies played, and it was a great game. I love watching Paulo Banchero. We had crazy good seats. We went high priced. We had crazy good seats, like 10 rows up. You could hear the guys. You could hear them talking. It was, Joe Ingles, the old man. I don't know why the Magic.
He's still around.
Yeah, he's 36.
Been around for a long time.
He's 36.
Former Utah Jazz for a long time.
Yeah, they dialed up a play for him down 1 with 4 seconds and change left. And he had a wide open look and missed it. And then laughed going off the court, which angered me.
This bothered you in the group chat.
It angered me.
You brought that up in the group chat.
Come on, Joe. That's not what fans want to see. But anyway.
Did he airball? Was it a good attempt?
He had a good look. He had a good look. And it was a round and out.
Okay.
He's a great shooter, but he was 1 for 5 or 1 for 6 on that night. Alex is a huge Orlando Magic fan, and he was hot that they dialed up a play for Joe Ingles, who had been on the bench for an extended period. Why not dial up something for Paulo Banchero, might be Banchero, who's going to be one of the best. He'll be one of the top 5 players in the NBA in the next few years. He's crazy.
Well, congrats to the Magic. I think you and I
They lost.
Well, they played a good game though.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say this. You and I both then have been to an NBA game this year that both had pretty epic endings. Mine was good. Jimmy Butler, who's now struggling.
That's right. You saw Jimmy
hit the game winner against the Bulls in mid-December. You saw the Magic lose at the very end. But we've seen some blowouts. I mean, the Heat have been involved in some really horrendous games recently. They're getting their butts kicked right now by everybody. The Grizzlies included.
Yeah,
who won that game against the Magic, but they had been terrible before that.
And hammered them.
Got beat by the Celtics by 30, by the Raptors by 40. I mean, it's incredible what's happening in Miami right now. So I saw them at a good time.
You saw buzzer beaters. We both saw games. We both saw games that went to the buzzer. And it was that Ja Morant wasn't playing when we made the trip. Ja was healthy. Rick is probably chiming in. No more NBA talk.
Hey, he's a Suns fan though.
Oh,
Phoenix Suns fan.
Okay. Ja Morant didn't play, nor did Desmond Bane.
Okay.
So we didn't see the grit. I I was telling the kids.
It was like the G League Grizzlies, but they still won.
Pretty good, though. The G League Grizzlies aren't too bad.
Before they had beaten the Heat, they had lost like 7 straight games.
No, they're 6-4 in their last 10.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah.
Right,
they're 6-4.
See, that's my NBA intel for
They're
you.
6-4 in the last 10. They've won 3 in a row.
I'll tell you this then. I looked at the roster of guys that were playing. I didn't know anybody. I hadn't heard of a single soul on that roster.
Oh, you had to hear of Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, and barely.
Yeah.
Barely.
Yeah.
Barely.
No, he was good. He's good.
Barely.
But the arena wasn't jam-packed because I told the kids, if Ja were playing, the place would be jam-packed. It was still a good crowd. That's an NBA town, Jake. That is an NBA town. They love it.
What else do they have there? They don't have
Beale Street. They don't have much.
They don't have NFL.
No, they don't.
Titans are in Nashville.
They have the University of Memphis, Penny Hardaway's the coach.
It should be an NBA town because that's the only pro sports franchise
They
there.
don't have much.
Has to be.
And you would be fascinated because of you travel and you're interested in things. I love Beale Street. I just love it. But it was sort of, I don't want to say depressing. But it was a little troubling.
I'd say it sounds to me depressing that a normally busy street had 100 people on it and shops were struggling to stay open. That to me sounds a little bit depressing.
Troubling.
I wasn't there to see it, but your description sounds sad.
Well, I hope in April, that's what they're hoping. In April, it starts coming around. But I saw a great band. I mean, I saw, just one of I would call it a house type band. But the drummer for this band had actually lived in Lincoln.
Wow.
For a year. Lived over by the Capitol, played the Zoo
bar.
Played with a standing act at the Zoo bar around the 2014 time. And he just came up and introduced himself. There wasn't that many people in there. And told me that story, and I was kind of blown away. I was like, wow, you lived in Lincoln for a year. Yeah, between LA and Memphis. So it was, I don't know. And they were good. It was a good band. And I had a few rums.
Yeah, a few rums. Just rum. That's all I had was rum. Well, that sounds like a fun trip.
Oh, it was like a rum.
I look forward to the new edition of the book. I'm starting to have some fun.
Yeah, I'm starting to have some fun. It was fun. We had it was kind of ridiculously fun.
That's good.
Yeah.
And you saw some ducks apparently too.
Oh, at the Peabody, I
saw some ducks.
The Peabody. I got in trouble too. You
wow! What a surprise! You got in trouble.
You would not have been impressed, and I almost hesitate. I don't even know if I'd tell this story if Bill were here because he'd be so angry. They have the ducks. They have ducks at the Peabody Hotel that they parade out every day. I took the kids over there because I wanted them to see the ducks. They didn't care. It's not their deal, but I thought it was kind of interesting. And they tell you can video the ducks, take photos, but turn your flash off. Well, I didn't turn my flash off.
Of course you didn't.
And the duck master woman.
The duck master.
Yeah. Oh, that's what she is.
All right.
She's all, she has a red coat on and she's all did up and she's the kind of the master of ceremonies because a lot of people gather at 11 a.m. every day and 5 p.m. every day. They gather. They come in tour buses. And I just didn't turn my flash off because I guess I didn't think when you videoed you had a flash, but she looked at me and said flash off. But it was still pretty fun.
The Peabody Ducks.
Yeah,
the Duck Master got mad at you.
Peabody's a super nice hotel.
We'll have to check it out sometime. Never really spent time in Memphis. So.
I swear I saw Scottie Pippen Jr. at this little eatery we are at. Thursday night we got in late and we went to this place called Huey's. And the kids think I'm crazy, but I said, I know that I saw Scottie Pippen Jr. walk out of there. He said, no, that wasn't him. I was like, oh, yeah, that's 100% Scottie Pippen Jr.
Who's usually right when you say that? The kids or you?
Them.
Them? Okay. Well,
anyway.
We'll just leave that as it is.
We'll talk more about the trip as the week goes on.
We will. I'm glad you're back and had a good trip and you had some fun. That's great. I have nothing for you. I didn't do anything this weekend. What do
you mean? You watched NFL?
I did.
We can get into right now.
In terms of fun stuff, I didn't do anything. So it was a pretty chill weekend.
You didn't go to. Oh, the game was in Maryland. You didn't go to that.
I did not go to Maryland for the game on Saturday. Stuck around Lincoln for that.
College Park, Maryland. Didn't do anything.
Not really anything of interest. I was pretty much a homebody this weekend.
That's not like you.
No. but that'll change here coming up. I'll tell you in a little bit. But
What?
I'm going to be busy the next couple weeks.
Are you going anywhere?
Yes.
Three-legged stool?
It'll be wobbly for a couple days. Not weeks, a week and a half, something like that.
Oh, God.
No, that's not true. Probably just a week plus. How about that? 1 week.
Okay. How far into the future is this?
I'll be here every day except for Friday this week, and then I'll be back February 13th.
I'll be damned.
I'll tell you a little bit more on that. Okay, that's Idle Chit Chat, sponsored by our friends at Newton's Lawn Care. Call them or text them today at 402-440-6297 to plan your fertilizing for the spring for your yards. Okay, so NFL, we watched some games yesterday in the conference championships. The Ravens beat the Chiefs 17-10 in the first game of
Chiefs.
I'm sorry. I'm all messed up.
Okay,
let's
stop
rewind.
and redo. The Chiefs won.
Let's rewind. The Chiefs. It's a Monday morning. Chiefs beat the Ravens 17-10. Thank you for that correction. Chiefs over the Ravens 17-10 in Baltimore. So they go on the road, beat Buffalo last week, beat Baltimore this past weekend. Chiefs are in back-to-back Super Bowls. The nightcap.
Wow.
The Niners come back from a 24-7 halftime deficit and beat the Lions in regulation 34-31. We'll start with the first game because, the Chiefs, again, the story was the defense in the game. Now, Mahomes was very, very good, and the running game was good too, but
the story wasn't Kelsey.
Kelsey was a great story too. They held the Ravens to 10 points. Baltimore has been an absolute wagon scoring recently. I mean, they put up 34 points to the Texans in the regular season. They put up 56 points on the Dolphins to clinch that 1 seed. It's with 2 weeks to go in the regular season. So, I mean, they were putting up points in bunches. And the Chiefs just say, not so fast. We'll hold you to nothing. And here's the real deal. This will make Bill, who's not here, Bill Busch, would be very happy about this because he said on this show last week how dumb it is to extend the football at the goal line. There is a key play.
And who did that?
There is a key play in this game.
Flowers.
Where it's 17-3 at this point. 17-3 Chiefs lead. And Zay Flowers is trying to score the ball going into the end zone. He reaches out and he gets poked away at about the half-yard line, recovered in the end zone by the Chiefs for a touchback. And the Ravens just never really fully recovered.
No, they didn't. That. I think the DB's name was Sneed. Does that sound right?
Yeah, L'Jarius Sneed.
L'Jarius Sneed poked it out, and Bill was 100% right. You don't extend the ball. I didn't know that until Bill said it, but you don't extend it. He extended it. Look, Zay Flowers hurt him there. He hurt him with a bad personal foul earlier.
The same drive.
Same drive.
He gets a big play, and he gets down to about the 4 or 5 yard line and taunts.
Yeah,
taunts.
Now some people like Alex, my grandson, he says that shouldn't be taunting. Man, there's a generation gap there because I said, why not? That's absolutely taunting. That's the definition of taunting. He said, well, if your GOAT, Michael Jordan did that, you'd say that's a tough dude. And I said, no, I'd say that's taunting. That's taunting. Anyway, I don't know. There's a generational gap in that. In that
100%, 100.
Now you got angry with me.
What?
When I walked in today.
Yeah.
Because what did I keep saying? What did I keep saying?
What about Patty Mahomes?
Patty Mahomes.
I said, say it again. Say it again. You said it about 10 times in the first 20 seconds of arriving today. You just kept saying Patty Mahomes.
You know why? You know what his postseason record is?
Say it.
14-3.
14-3.
Patty Mahomes. Or as Gronk calls him, Patrick McHolmes. Patty Mahomes. Learn his name, Gronk. He's 14-3 in the playoffs.
He calls him Mick Holmes.
Yeah, he did. He had it.
Come on, man.
Come on, Gronk. I mean, me of all people correcting somebody on name usage. But anyway, 14-3. And the reason I think you're right, I guess it's a story of the Chiefs defense, but Kelsey was targeted 9 times in the first half and caught 9 passes. And I was trying to figure out when I was watching the game, we were driving home, by the way, and grandson Dominic, had the game on his phone, so you couldn't see a lot of it. He had it up on the dash, so you have a hard time. But why were they single coverage? Why were they single coverage on Kelce?
I don't know. I have no answer for that. Because Travis Kelce, although he had a less than stellar season, what he was used to normally, he still had a good season, and he's been incredible this postseason.
Well, down the stretch, the last 3 or 4 games, he's been.
But against the Dolphins in the first round, against the Bills the last round, and the Ravens, he's been exceptional. And by the way, with yesterday, he broke an NFL playoff record. He now has the most ever catches by a player in postseason history. He broke Jerry Rice's record for most career catches in the postseason. That's kind of significant for Travis Kelce.
I mean, he and Patty Mahomes, look, they're like the Patriots now.
They are, and I hate it. Now, again, there's obviously that's the closest team to Lincoln. There's a lot of Chiefs fans out there celebrating and saying, yes, thank you for having the Patriots be here. The Chiefs are the new Patriots, the new dynasty of the NFL. I'm not a Chiefs fan, neither are you. So
No.
to me, it's annoying. But I do
You respect
have
them.
I respect them. Like
How could you not?
There was I think some shady things happening with the Patriots back in the day. The deflate game. There's different things, spy game, and they always had something going on that was what's going on with the Patriots. You've heard nothing about the Chiefs, right? In that regard,
And
there's
you
been
won't.
no questionable things, no spy game. There's been nothing. It's been clean football by them. I respect that.
Real clean.
There's no investigations happening with them. It's just Patrick Mahomes is a dude in the playoffs, and Andy Reid is also a dude with his play calls.
Well, I'll tell you.
And so is Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, easy now. Easy. Andy Reid is a dude with his play calling, but he's obviously a head coach in every sense of the word. He had his team much better prepared for that game in Baltimore than John Harbaugh did. You would say on that instance, on that day, on that Sunday, that Reid, just on that day, was the much better head coach.
He was.
They came out, and what did the Chiefs do right away?
Scored.
Took it to him through the first punch. And we can go micro here in a second, but on a macro sense, what did Baltimore do offensively? Went away from the run.
They did.
Abandoned it.
Yeah.
Abandoned the run.
I don't get that.
I knew you wouldn't.
You weren't down by
you're an
21.
NFL fan. You weren't. You weren't. Why did you abandon the run? And when I say abandon, I mean abandoned the run.
There should not be any time where the Ravens have 16 carries in a ball game. They had 37 pass attempts, 16 rushes. Now, Todd Monken, the OC, in I think his first full year, and had a good year. It was a very good. The first 4 or 5 games were sluggish. The Ravens didn't look right, and then about week 6 or 7, it started clicking, and they were just dynamic. Lamar was incredible.
Balance.
The balance was great. Yes, they had Justice Hill. They had Gus Edwards. They had Lamar Jackson using his legs. They were very, very hard to stop. And I still think they are a very good offense. But what did that defense do this postseason? They held the Dolphins to 7 points, a very high-scoring Dolphins team.
The Chiefs.
To 7 points.
Okay.
Now, Buffalo had 24 points. That was in Buffalo, and they're obviously a very good offense at home. But they go into Buffalo and win that football game. And then they go into Baltimore and hold them to 10 points.
Hold them to 10. Chris Jones and company. I mean, it is they Jake, you're right. I don't know. It's just a minor quibble. I don't know that I look at that game as it's the Chiefs defense that won it, because it's still Mahomes Kelce show.
It is, but they held Baltimore to 10 points.
That's remarkable. And then the big topic becomes, what is wrong with Lamar Jackson in the postseason?
At least in the finals, at least. He played well against the Texans.
But what happened yesterday?
20 for 37 passing, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 4 sacks of Lamar Jackson.
And he threw a bad pick, into triple coverage pick when they needed that touchdown bad late.
And that was the drive after they had the touchdown. That was, he dove in for the touchdown, wiped away.
Say Flowers.
And they make a nice drive. But yes, and it was a good drive leading up to that play. But what are you doing? It is triple coverage. Triple coverage.
Threw it short.
That was never open. And they had plenty of time to score. They didn't have to go for the big shot there.
Bad decision. So they have 4 personal fouls 4 personal fouls, the Ravens, and 2 touchdowns. Well, I mean, they had the turnover that would have been a touchdown.
Yes.
They kind of choked.
They did choke. Oh, that was a choke. The
On
Ravens choked.
on their home field.
Like this still is not the best Chiefs team we've seen. This is
no way.
I'm not going to say watered down because they still have Mahomes and Kelsey. And they still have got great players. But compared to the teams of the past, this is a lesser version of the Chiefs.
It is. It's interesting, and this is where you tip your cap to Andy Reid, because I think you'd agree, Jake. In the previous incarnation of the Chiefs, they would spread you out, and they had a high flying offense with Tyreek Hill, and more. And now it's more condensed. It's more of a run oriented, kind of tougher type offense. Pacheco's a tough runner.
He is.
They lean. I mean, I don't know where they would be without Kelsey. I mean, they lean awfully hard on him, and I'm still freaked out that Baltimore elected to single coverage him. And then maybe Bill would have a sort of a complicated football answer for that. But they singled him a lot of that game. I didn't understand it. And how does he keep getting open all the time on third down, especially on third down? Now, some of it's just
the story of him being washed up. That was just a stupid story. Man, listen, that guy. When it's important, when they have to win, Travis Kelce shows up.
Yeah, I've becoming more and more of a fan of Mahomes because it's impossible kind of not to, because he's so good in those situations. How tough is Mahomes?
He's very tough.
How mentally tough is he?
Incredibly mentally tough.
Yeah, because that was his show yesterday. The fact, Jake, you knew right away when they came out and scored, their first couple possessions were excellent. It's like, what? They're getting everything they want, anything they want against a very good defense.
Well,
now, they set the tone. Baltimore adjusted the defense. They adjusted defensively, settled in. Obviously, Chiefs only scored 17. They settled in. But Mahomes and the offense set the tone for the game early because they were getting anything they wanted early. And the Ravens were on their heels from the start. On their heels. They were pretty much on their heels, I'd say, 75% of the game?
They were. The Chiefs had the ball for 37 minutes and 30 seconds in this game. They had 16 more plays than the Ravens. I mean, they were on the field all the time. Here, you mentioned the stat. The Ravens had 16 rush attempts.
That's part of the reason.
Pacheco himself had 24 rush attempts by himself.
Mm-hmm. Part of the reason Baltimore only had 16 carries was because of what you just said. They didn't have many plays, period.
They could not get the Chiefs off the field.
Right.
Chiefs converted 8 third downs.
Jeez.
8 for 18.
I guarantee the Ravens weren't good on third down.
No, they were 3 for 11.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, and you know what the Chiefs did, Jake, and this is more oriented towards your take, that the Chiefs defense was the deal. They just blitzed and blitzed and blitzed. Jackson was 7 for 17 on blitz plays. They had no answer for the blitz.
That's Steve Spagnuolo, man. That's what
yes,
he does.
it is.
He did it to 2. He did all posts all year. All the good quarterbacks he blitzed on, and it worked.
They're great. The Chiefs. I do tip my cap to them. I grudgingly do it. You know, I'm not a Chiefs fan at all.
I don't like him either.
But man,
I respect him though.
Oh God, you can't disrespect Mahomes and Kelsey and that defense, Spagnuolo, and the leader of it all, Andy Reid.
Yep.
Because Jake, he's not just a play caller. He's a real head coach. This is the 4th Super Bowl in 5 years, right?
It is. That's correct.
This is the 4th Super Bowl in 5 years.
Think about that for a second.
Patty Mahomes is about to get ring number 3, maybe.
It's a good chance.
It's going to be hard.
It's going to be tough. It's a rematch. Again, the Niners beat the Lions 34-31 a game. The Lions just gave away.
Hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead. Say it. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
I'm just going to say regarding the second game.
Can't you say the Niners took it?
They did, but Sip, in the second half, the Lions were dropping passes left and right. So is that the Niners taking it, or is it the Lions giving it away? The Niners made plays. Don't get me wrong. They made a bunch of plays defensively. Offensively, they had the nice play that Ayuk went off the guy's helmet, and he catches it at the 4.
Got lucky.
Very fortunate. The guy could have been picked off.
Got lucky.
That's a pick. You're in big trouble.
Yeah.
But that changed the tide of the game. The Lions,
It did.
The Lions just continue to drop passes left and right out of nowhere, which they were not doing in the first half. And it got just really tight for the Lions. And then you have, Dan Campbell always going for on fourth down, which he didn't change the way that he operates. Dan Campbell is aggressive.
That's what he
right?
does.
He is aggressive. And some say, well, can you change your style when it's going to the Super Bowl versus a regular game or an early playoff game? That's who he is. Dan Campbell is who Dan Campbell is.
Went for it twice on fourth down.
That's right.
Second one, they're in field goal range, right?
It was 27-24 at that time. If they had kicked the field goal, make it. And by the way,
what would it have been?
It'd been 27-all.
I know, but what would
like
have
a 45-yard?
I was going to
maybe?
say 48.
It was not 50. It was shy of 50 for sure.
Between 45.
And Michael Badgley, their kicker, has been very solid for them.
He went for it, missed on the pass.
Yep. He had to roll out, and he was short on Amon-Ra St. Brown.
You're right. There were drops. The one thing that you and Bill didn't mention in the group text was Goff had 3 overthrows. He missed guys. Now, he's not taking any heat, surprisingly a little bit to me, because he missed some guys. Goff missed some guys. Had drops. That's what people are talking about. Overthrew 3 guys. Critical situations on 2 of them. So, Goff, I think, generally played pretty well.
He did.
The only quarterback who didn't yesterday was Jackson.
Lamar Jackson, yeah.
He didn't play well.
Yep, he did not.
But Goff played probably well enough to win. But when you were group texting yesterday and saying total meltdown, one of you guys said that.
I said that, and I stand by that. It was a total meltdown by the Lions.
I said in the group text, Niners flexed. I think there was a meltdown, but also the Niners took it.
Okay, I mean, it's a combination, but come on. The Niners scored 27 points in the second half. They had 7 in the first half. The Lions, and again, I can go back to the play that Ayuk catches. That ball could have been picked off. It goes off the guy's helmet, tips up.
Got lucky.
He catches at the 5. That changes the whole tide of the game.
It changed it.
That should have been picked off.
Right. Yeah. You're right.
Right? And so that's what I'm
100%.
saying. It's a meltdown collectively.
Yeah.
Defensively, offensively, the Lions melted down. Head coach decided to go be aggressive instead of, and there's no guarantee that field goal's made, by the way. He could have missed the kick, and we would say, well, should have stuck with your aggressive mindset. So that's the problem you get. You never know what's going to happen. It was a good chance to make a kick, though.
Last week we didn't talk about. You had it on the rundown, but we never got around to it. Was you would expected me to be for the Lions or to be for the Niners because of I like the blue bloods. Yes, Jake, I do like blue bloods.
That's no surprise to anybody.
Right, I love them, and I did want the Niners to win, but it wasn't. I didn't have those strong feelings. You know why? Because the Lions are good.
They are good. Yeah,
they're just not
team.
a plucky little team that would have been a big upset. They are really good. So it doesn't like my thing when I just don't like seeing a blue blood go down in a big game, a playoff game, be it, in the pros or college, to a plucky little team that really doesn't belong there. That's what I don't. That's when I always cheer for the blue blood. The Detroit Lions aren't a plucky little team that didn't belong there. They belonged. And you watch the NFL all the time. I don't. I watched it yesterday. And I'll catch games here and there during the course of the season, but I'll lock in on the playoffs. The Lions are really good.
Dan Campbell inherits that team. They lose the first 10 games that he's the head coach. They go 3-13-1 his first season. Okay. Last year, they start off 1-7. They finished at 9-8. They're 1 game shy of the playoffs. This year, they make the NFC title game, led by 17 points at halftime.
And they took it to the Niners.
They did. Lose by, I'm just saying, that Dan Campbell is a very, very good coach. He's an incredible coach.
Couldn't you say Shanahan's incredible?
I would. But he's been there. Shanahan has been successful for several years now. The Niners were supposed to be the winners of that game, and they won. They were down 17.5.
They were. But wouldn't you say that halftime adjustments were exemplary by the Niners?
Yes.
And Shanahan is the kind. Now, Jake, we'll get into this after the break. Shanahan versus McDaniel.
Oh, come on. We don't have to get into that. That's obvious who the better coach is. There's no comparison.
That's a problem for Miami.
I know that. I'm aware. It's a concern. I want to talk a little bit of hoops when we come back, though.
Hoops.
Nebraska ball laid another egg on the road. No surprise. Discuss it next. An early break in the ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Why are New Year's resolutions always about getting to the gym more or dieting? We fail ourselves before the first month of the year is already over. Why not resolve to eat better, tastier foods in 2024? Look no further than Fuhrer's Cheese Spread. Stop eating your apples, vegetables, crackers, and chips plain. Give them some flavor. Fuhrer's Cheese Spread awakens your taste buds. Now that's how you start a new year. Find your container of Fuhrer's Cheese Spread today at your local grocery store.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Are you in the market for a new garage door or need to repair your old one? It's wintertime, and that means snow, wind, and freezing temperatures, all things that can cause sticky locks and damage to your garage door. If you're experiencing any issues with your commercial or residential garage door during the winter months, call Cameron Hall and his team at Doors Plus. Don't be trapped outside in the cold because of a poorly maintained garage door. Call Doors Plus today at 402-590-5800 or visit them online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings. Are you looking for a new spot to relax and unwind? The Post, located on the south side of the Telegraph District on the corner of 20th and N Street, is perfect for a group hangout or a relaxing evening. The Post has plenty of exciting events open to the public, like Whiskey Wednesday and poker tournaments on Sundays. Looking for a spot for a private event? Ask them about their indoor patio. The Post, located at 20th and N Street in Lincoln.
The place you call home should always be a place of comfort. Warm and cozy in winter, cool and relaxing in summer. If your home isn't delivering the comfort you expect, call Bryant. It's more than just hot and cold to them. It's about providing the best comfort solutions. And Bryant gives you a full 24-month test drive on your home comfort system. Get full details at BryantLincoln.com or call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
This
I'm not on drugs. I'm not drunk.
is Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I can't imagine, before we get to basketball, I can't imagine the people in the city of Detroit this morning.
Oh, God.
What they're going through.
Oh, God. You can't imagine it.
They have never been to the Super Bowl ever. We're up 17 points on the road. They look like they're going to get there. I saw a reporter doing a interview from Detroit after the game, and the Lions fans, they seemed okay. They said, it was a great season, won pride, we'll be back next year. Maybe. But as Dan Campbell, I don't have the audio, but
wait a second. Yeah.
Dan Campbell says, here's the thing. We now have a target on our back. We're not just the cute store anymore. I mean,
no, they're not.
The division gets better next year. Kirk Cousins comes back from injury. The Packers are getting better. The Bears are getting better. The Lions are not just the team you can just go punch and say, the Lions are an easy win. No, that's now a team you circle, saying that's an NFC championship team that lost. But
right. No, Jake, you just don't waltz into the NFC championship game.
No.
It's not earmarked for the Lions next year. It's not. Nope. He knows that. See, what smart coaches understand, smart people understand, is that was a colossal opportunity that may not be there again.
Yep.
You never know if you're going to get back to the NFC title game.
And he said this might be the only time we ever get here.
Right.
He said that in post game.
Okay, that's smart.
He said that to his players.
That's why it's such a crushing loss, because you don't know if you're going to get back. You know you're going to have another season, but you don't know you're going to get back. It's crushing.
Yep.
That's
tough day for Lions fans. All right, speaking of crushing, Nebraska basketball.
What the hell happened to Maryland?
Sucks on the road. I was watching the whole game. Nebraska came out hot. They're up 12-2, 15-8, and after that, it all fell apart. Defense could not guard anybody. The offense was not making shots. Here's the real problem, Sip.
Okay.
Maryland was using a full court press a lot of this basketball game.
Yes.
What do we know about Nebraska basketball this year? They don't have a true point guard. They don't. Nebraska, Jamarcus Lawrence is a shooting guard playing point guard. They don't have an actual point guard. In this game, after they just had a game against Ohio State, they had 6 turnovers in. Nebraska against Maryland had 18 freaking turnovers.
Yep.
It was a slop fest after a fantastic first 5 minutes of this game where they could not miss from three-point land. They were playing good defense, and then it all fell apart. Trailed by 17 at halftime, 44-27. They never got back in this game in the second half, really at all. They get down like maybe 12 at one point. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
But they go on the road, and they lose by 22 points, 73-51. Huskers now 5-5 in conference play, 15-6 overall.
So yeah, you identified one of the issues: turnovers. Maryland had 25 points off turnovers, 25 points off turnovers, and 18 second chance points. Nebraska, the other problem, they got crushed on the boards.
They did.
They got crushed on the boards. When Nebraska, I want you to think about a couple of things now. You just got to look at matchups sometimes. When you see Nebraska is going to play a team like Rutgers, which is tough inside, tough. They have a center. They have tough power forwards. It can be tough for Nebraska because they don't really have a center. They're a little light inside. Now, people are going to say, no, wait a second, Sip. Mass just came off a 34-point game. at Ohio State and played well against. Now, you kept saying Ohio State's physical. I didn't think Ohio State's physical. There's
compared
physical.
to Northwestern, they were the previous game.
Yeah. There's physical, and then there's physical.
Okay.
And Maryland has Reese.
Yeah. That'd be Julian Reese.
And he had how many rebounds?
He had 15 points and 16 rebounds. Basically the same stat line as Cliff Amori of Rutgers against Nebraska. They had an enforcer. Okay.
Right.
They had the enforcer.
Good word.
Now,
good word.
Now, Jawan Gary again did not play in this game for Nebraska.
That hurts.
Still fighting the injury to the strained calf.
Yeah, calf strain.
But again, they got pounded on the boards, as you said, against Rutgers. They come back against Northwestern and Ohio State. They're positive in rebounding, and they were out-rebounded by 18, 43-25 on the boards, including 17 offensive rebounds for Maryland.
And what did I say all last week? Just go on the road and surprise us.
They did the first 5 minutes.
Surprise us.
It's 12-2.
I know.
And then 15-8. And then after that, it was over.
But then what was it? It was the same old story. Now, you know what's going to happen, though. You know what will happen, because this is Nebraska basketball. This is Nebraska basketball, so they'll come back and beat Wisconsin at home
on Thursday.
Yeah, that's what happens.
That's 8-1 in conference, Wisconsin.
That's what happens, though. This is Nebraska basketball, and they'll finish around 500 in the league. It's all the reason I'm a little off of it, as you've noticed, is it's all a little too predictable for me.
Do you have an update on the record for Fred on the road?
Speaking of predictable, Fred's teams on the road in Big Ten play, and this is not just regular season, this is counting postseason. So away from PBA, 7-42.
7-42.
Is that
good?
Well, if you think a .142 winning percentage is good. Fred's teams, and I know here comes the text line excuses. That's what happens all the time. Fred is the greatest guy in the world, which I understand. So he gets a long leash. I mean, he is 7-42 on the road as Nebraska's head coach in Big Ten play. Go ahead. Bring up COVID.
I'm not going to say anything.
Come on.
No one has that record because no one's ever survived that long to get that type of record.
He's 23-66 overall in the Big Ten. But again, they're all right. They'll be okay this year.
They're still projected as a tournament team.
Yeah, they're going to win games at PBA. Now, the worry you would have as a Nebraska fans is the bad road losses. The committee's not going to just ignore that you lost bad at Iowa, that you lost to Rutgers, that you lost bad at Maryland.
So that's the net rankings, and that affects that because Nebraska dropped 14 spots in the net rankings because of the blowout losses to those teams.
Yeah, in the committee, I mean, there's some subjectivity to the discussion, and they're not going to ignore those losses. So Nebraska's got to be a little careful, but I think this season is pretty predictable. They're going to be very good at home, and they're going to have and they'll win on the road. They'll beat somebody on the road.
They Wisconsin, you mentioned that they'll win this game. That's going to be a tough game.
Oh, I know.
Wisconsin's 8-1. Nebraska has to beat them because if they don't, they're going to go 0-4 in the stretch because they played then at Illinois and at Northwestern. Northwestern is a good basketball team. I know you beat them here.
No, they're good.
They're good basketball team. They just beat Illinois at home last week.
It was a good win here in Lincoln to beat Northwestern. It'll be tough to beat them on the road. And I know, Jake, when I sit here confidently and say Nebraska's going to beat Wisconsin, it'll be really tough to beat Wisconsin in PBA. But it's just so Nebraska basketball to do it, right? To go on the road and get blown out by Maryland and come back and beat Wisconsin at home. It's just very Nebraska basketball.
At least this year.
Yeah. It's just, I think it's very Nebraska basketball to eke into the NCAA tournament if they do. And here's the thing, though, because college basketball is the way it is this year, it's not great. There's no great separation at the top. They could get in and win. This team's capable of doing that.
Yeah.
It is 100%
the right
capable.
matchup against a non super physical team.
Yeah. Yeah,
They can win that type. They can't play an absolute monster on the boards. They will get beat.
Oh, you said the critical thing, Jake. If they play an enforcer, it's tough. It's tough. If there's a big 6'10 plus enforcer, they have a lot of trouble. Minnesota, when you go back to that game, if you just look at that game, Minnesota is powerful inside, and they just hammered Nebraska around the paint.
Rutgers,
same thing.
Maryland.
Rutgers had 25 offensive rebounds. It's hard to be critical of those guys, Rink Mast and Josiah Alec, and look at their combined. They're small. They're not very big.
Yeah, Rink Mast and Alec were combined 2 for 7. They had 10 rebounds combined. Versus $1 million for Maryland.
Combined. That's the issue, is they're not very big. They're not big physical guys relative to what they sometimes encounter in what's a tough league.
Huskers again against Wisconsin. Big opportunity on Thursday. Need that really to avoid, I think, 2 losses coming up on the road to Illinois and Northwestern. But again, the record 15-6, 5-5 overall in conference play. When we come back, we don't have song of the day. We had technical problems. I'm sorry. I know. We had technical problems. We'll have it back tomorrow.
We can't get it back. We can't. There's nothing we can do.
Nothing we can do.
Sing?
We could sing. Maybe we'll do that. Next, an early break in the ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, a little patchy fog possible this morning. Otherwise, we'll see mainly sunny skies. Stay in warm weather, too. We'll see a high around 47. Tonight, partly cloudy skies are expected with a low around 31. And tomorrow, more sunshine on the way. Warm weather, too. We'll see a high around 44. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clutch for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I see the future in our public school classrooms every day. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. I also see how critically important parent and community support is to our students' success. Support your public schools. Get involved. Form a business school partnership or become a school volunteer. Great schools and great communities work hand in hand.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread's Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Bagels & Joe is celebrating 31 years of business this year. With 4 Lincoln locations and 1 in Seward, there's more options for your favorite breakfast spot in town. And don't forget the Joe card for unlimited drip coffee for just $8.95 per person per month. Bagels & Joe, celebrating 31 years of serving Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Are you looking for a new spot to relax and unwind? The Post, located on the south side of the Telegraph District on the corner of 20th and N Street, is perfect for a group hangout or a relaxing evening. The Post has plenty of exciting events open to the public, like Whiskey Wednesday and poker tournaments on Sundays. Looking for a spot for a private event? Ask them about their indoor patio. The Post, located at 20th and N Street in Lincoln. Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex at West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Husker fans, your Nebraska wrestling team is back at the Bob Devaney Sports Center for a Big Ten matchup on Sunday, February 4th against Illinois. The duel begins at 2 p.m., and the first 350 fans will receive a Nebraska wrestling pennant. For more information or to secure your tickets, visit huskers.com/tickets or call 402-472-3111. Again, that's huskers.com/tickets or call 402-472-3111.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jake on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I am sorry. I apologize for everyone that was waiting for a song of the day. This is probably the first time in years I haven't had one. It's not because I wasn't prepared. I had a song for today. We had some technology issues which have now been resolved.
What?
Got them fixed during the break. It wasn't enough time to get a song of the day dubbed in. I fixed something on the speakers over there.
Oh, could we do it later?
No, we cannot do the song of the day later, but I can tell you what it was going to be. You want that?
Mm-hmm.
This makes me sad for you because I knew that you would love this. The song was going to be Remedy by Seether.
Oh!
Yeah. That was going to be. So if you want to rate, if you know that song.
Oh, no, I don't know that song.
Text it in, 464-5685. I know this is Sugar Ray playing right now, but no, I did not, could not get it in. We tried our hardest before the show to get that computer to work, but it didn't work.
Remedy's in the nines, 9.2. 9.2. God, you had Seether.
I had Seether prepared for you today. Yep. I know. Oh, look at it. Oh God. This makes me sad.
It makes me sad.
You put your head down on the mic in sadness. Not disgust, but sadness more than anything.
Was that going to be fixed tomorrow?
Yeah. Oh, it's fixed right now.
It just got fixed.
I fixed it literally 2 minutes ago.
That makes me even
Wasn't
sadder.
enough time to get dubbed in. I couldn't do that. So apologies to all the breakers that like to rate the song. I promise to be back tomorrow and going forward. Just a one-time hiccup. I did forget it. I tried to do it, but we had something in the way. I could not get fixed. We also had problems in here this morning. We got fixed before the show. So there's a lot of chaos that happened prior to 6 a.m.
I'm looking forward to the day in mid-February when we just settle back into the three-legged stool. But it's going to be a while.
Mid-February.
It's going to be a while.
Yeah. If you're just tuning in, I'm going to be gone
Friday
from the show from the 2nd through the 12th.
I'm just looking forward to mid-February now.
Should I tell people why that is?
Yeah.
I had a trip planned for a long time with my wife. We're going to Phoenix. Elizabeth. Yeah, we're going from Thursday night. So the 1st, we'll be here Thursday for the show. Thursday through Monday the 5th, we're going to come back to Lincoln, back to work Tuesday as normal. But I was informed by DP a few weeks ago that he and myself and Jay Foreman are going to Las Vegas for the Super Bowl for the whole week.
And so this will be good for the ticket.
It will be. It'll be amazing. So instead of me flying back to Lincoln on Monday the 5th, I will instead be flying to Las Vegas on the 5th and then flying back to Lincoln on Monday the 12th, back on the show the 13th.
I hesitate to ask this because it kind of puts you on the spot. But are you going to do live reports?
Yes. So I like to do the show out there, but it's going to be 5 a.m.
Right.
or 4 a.m.
That's why I hesitated to ask.
And as you know, at that time in Vegas, you might be still awake or just going to bed typically at 4 a.m.
You have quite a road ahead of you.
That's the question I have is, how do you pack for that? How do you pack
you can
for
do
12 days?
I got
to do laundry.
You got to check that. I don't know what the Vegas weather is. I know it's been cold there recently. So it's not as simple as what I would usually suggest. It's just a lot of shorts.
Yep. It takes less room up in the suitcase.
Just a lot of t-shirts and, polos. But I think it has been cold, so you're going to have to pack a variety. It is. I've done it though. Remember, Jake, I've told you about those when Nebraska was really good at football, way back in the day. When I'd go on those trips to cover national title games or even some other bowl games, those were 14, 15, 16-day trips.
How did you pack?
We had to do laundry a couple times.
You did? Yeah. I have to do laundry probably as well.
Yeah.
I assume that.
Yeah, or you just, like those were warm weather trips. Like it was 15 days in Miami where you just wear shorts a lot of the time. I packed 5 short pants with polos and t-shirts as a sports writer, and you can make it work. Phoenix, we were in the Scottsdale. We stayed in Scottsdale. Tempe Mission Palms Hotel. I stayed 2 times for 10 plus days at the Tempe Mission Palms. And, in that weather's very predictable. So it was not that hard, but it is weird to be away from home that long.
That's the weird thing. Not sleeping in my own bed for 12 days, basically.
Yeah. It's weird.
Going from one trip to another trip.
Yeah. That's a lot for you.
Again, it will be a work trip. I'm not just out there having fun in Vegas. I'm going to be doing work. I will still have my computer.
Mm-hmm.
I'll still be doing sales stuff. Mm-hmm. I'll still be doing stuff, I'll help Jay out with, we'll have content out there in Vegas and DP with the media row.
Mm. That'll actually be fun.
And of course, when I come back, I'll have great reports for you guys.
I know. That's the thing I'm looking forward
to.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to that part of this. It'll really be helpful to the show.
So I believe
you're going to the damn Super Bowl.
I believe on Friday, we just you and Nick, because Bill was also gone on Friday from what he told me this Friday.
Three-legged.
It's his favorite day. He's gone on Groundhog Day.
The 3-legged stool is definitely a little wobbly.
Well, you were gone for a week.
I know. I contributed to it.
It's this is January, February is wobbly. We get back together.
Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold it down because I got no trips now planned, and I feel strangely good. Like I haven't been sick for have you heard me coughing for 8 weeks?
Not on wood.
Yeah, strange. I keep waiting to get something again. I haven't gotten it. But there's some. Oh yeah, I can present you guys with your gifts now.
Hang on. Can we do this during Bill's Thrills right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me play Legal
Let's
ID.
do it during. I'll present you guys with your gifts during Bill's Thrills.
Okay, hang on.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Let's hit it.
Some call him the most interesting man in the world.
That is setting up the morel mushroom bonanza.
Oh,
yeah.
Is it going to be bonanza?
Mushrooms grow better with thunder and lightning.
Others call him Coach. But to everyone else, he's Bill.
I want to get one of those military ab stimulators for us to wear during the show. You see, I sent it to you today.
It's time for Bill's Thrills on Early Break. Sponsored by Dirk, Scott, and Ty at Mid-Plains Advisors.
Bill is out today, so when he's gone, it's either Sips Tips or Jake's Takes, and I guess today it's Sips Trips because you're back from a trip.
Yeah, from Memphis.
And by the way, Bill's Thrills sponsored by Dirk, Scott, and Ty at Mid-Plains Advisors. Call them today at 402-730-7387 to schedule a free consultation to get yourself making tons of money. What do you got for us?
Well, I wish today that Bill was here. I mean, this isn't this Bill's Thrills is Bill's Thrills, and I can't duplicate it. This does work though, strangely, for Bill's Thrills, because Bill would understand the significance of what I'm holding in my hand.
It's a bag.
Yeah.
With something in it.
He would understand the significance of what's in the bag. He would, because it was a big part of our childhoods. And I'm not doing a better times. You guys are young. You can't help that. And I think now I don't think Josh would understand this completely. I think you would, based on kind of some of the conversations we've had since Bill was here for the last year.
Mm-hmm.
This was a staple of when I would go swimming at Pawnee Park Pool in Columbus, and then go to this little shack, the candy shack. You know, you'd do your thing, you'd swim all day, and then you'd wander over to the candy shack. And there was a few things that I would get. And now, you know me, I'm a little bit picky when it comes to candy. So there's not too many things I like, but this was one of the things I'd get almost every time. And I'm not sure they have them anymore, which is why, well, you guys got to help me with this. Do you ever see this candy around? I when I saw it, I was taken aback. It was one of those little one of those novelty shops on Beale Street that had like moon pies. And it had bottles of RC Cola, like old-timey stuff, candy and pop and stuff as novelties. And I bought back 3 of these. Ready?
I'm ready.
For Bill, Josh, and yourself.
Okay.
I didn't even get one for myself now that I think about it.
Did you have one when you were out there? Did you eat one?
I didn't. I've had them a bazillion.
Wait, you brought back the
Chico Sticks.
Chico Stick. Look at that.
Chico Sticks. Chico Sticks are... Now, have you had one?
I don't think so.
Well, here's one for you.
Thank you.
And I got one for young Josh, and I got one for Bill.
It's described as crunchy peanut butter rolled in toasted coconut.
Oh, I love coconut. I mean, I love coconut water. The kids turned me on to coconut water, which I really like, by the way. But I'm a big fan of coconut.
This one's open.
That's sketchy.
It's open.
I'm not sure why.
I'm
sure that. No, I'll take. Well, yeah. No, it's fine though.
I'm sure it's fine.
One of them's broken and that one's open.
It could have been just the way that you transported them back.
Yeah,
you know?
it could be.
It's fine.
Anyway,
well, thank you. A Chico Stick. Yeah, this means a lot.
Yeah, it does it though. No, it should. I mean, that was a staple for a lot of kids back in my day.
In previous years on the show, you have brought up the Chico Stick before.
Oh yeah, so and there they were.
This means a lot. You're bringing back something you've mentioned for years on the show that you brought one to us.
You know my situation in this world. I have to get a lot of gifts. I mean, there's a lot of people, and so I brought my bag of gifts back. So magnets for refrigerators.
Yep. I still like the cow you doing bag you got for me for Christmas. Cow you doing Cracker Barrel. So, all right. Well, there you go. Sips tips, sips trips today.
Sips trips.
Chico Stick, courtesy of a downtown store on Beale Street. In Memphis.
On Beale Street, struggling Beale Street, but the rum boogie was not struggling when I was there. It was good. They were doing pretty good. I mean, there wasn't a lot of people in there, but there was enough. And it was fun. The one thing you don't want to make a mistake on in Memphis is if you keep saying to people, I like blues, it's not just blues music. It's rhythm and blues. It's
okay.
Because
phrasing is important.
Yeah. Like I said a couple times, I noted people said, well, we're not really playing the blues. It's more rhythm and blues.
Sorry to get that wrong.
Noted.
That's Sips Tips, Sips Trips, Bill's Thrill, sponsored by Dirk, Scott, and Ty at Mid Plains Advisors. Contact them to plan your financial future today. And again, I apologize. Song of the day, we'll be back tomorrow. We will get that figured out. We won't miss that again. Top of the hour is next, though, on Early Break on the Ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendliest staff who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex at West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Coming up in Lincoln, February 2nd through 4th at the Sandhills Global Event Center, it's the family show of all outdoors, the 55th Annual Boat, Sport, and Travel Show. With RVs, motorhomes, boats, trailers, discount tackle, and family fun for everyone. Interact with exotic animals at wildlife encounters and appearances by Husker football players. Veterans free on Friday, lots of free parking. Doors open at noon on Friday, 10 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. See you there!
Joining a gym fashionably late this year? You're right on time. At Planet Fitness, we got you. Because now through January 31st, you can still join for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. And to make it even better, we have free fitness training, equipment for every workout, plus a free in-app crowd meter, and most clubs open 24 hours. Feel good about being fashionably late. It's the last chance to join Planet Fitness for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Hurry. Deal ends January 31st. See Home Club for details.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And we'd like to say thank you for a record-setting 2023. So let's start off 2024 with the bang. They've got huge trade-in bonuses and finance bonusing happening right now on our new inventory at Koppel. Get up to $8,500 off select new models at Koppel. So if you're shopping for a new GM product, go to our website at koppelcars.com. You won't believe the discounts. Make that short money-saving drive down 144th Street. You'll be glad you did. Must have trade and finance with roof credit. Stock number G207684.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Bagels & Joe is celebrating 31 years of business this year. With 4 Lincoln locations and 1 in Seward, there's more options for your favorite breakfast spot in town. And don't forget the Joe card for unlimited drip coffee for just $8.95 per person per month. Bagels & Joe, celebrating 31 years of serving Lincoln and the surrounding areas.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
I see the future in our public school classrooms every day. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. I also see how critically important parent and community support is to our students' success. Support your public schools. Get involved. Form a business school partnership or become a school volunteer. Great schools and great communities work hand in hand.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Wake up, Lincoln.
I overslept. Damn rooster didn't crow.
It's time for Early Break. Sponsored by Midwest Bank. Live from Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
I'm wrong, but I'm not.
Husker Online, Steve Sipple.
If I were a feral cat.
And longtime college football assistant coach, Bill Busch.
You get one team. Mine's the Houston Oilers.
So-
I'm not the Texans, and I'm not the Titans, so I'm out.
This is Early Break.
Welcome back to Hour 2 on a Monday. Steve Sipple back from Memphis. Bill Busch out today. I am Jake Sorensen. Hour 2 sponsored by our friends at Midwest Bank. Member FDIC, location in Lincoln at 27th and Jamie Lane. New location coming to 70th and Pioneers by the end of February. Bill's out today, so Steve Schindler also is out today. He'll be back tomorrow, though. Give us a special. I'm sure he's getting stuff prepped for Tuesday at Midwest Bank.
Strange time of year. Like people are, I don't know. It's a strange time of year for us. It's kind of herky-jerky for the show right now. Absences, including myself.
Yep. We're all collectively absent from the show at times.
Yeah. But I will tell you this. I will hold it down I have no trips planned now forever. Well, not forever.
Forever?
Not in the next.
Forever?
Not in the next few months. I'll be here. So February, March, April, May, probably.
Okay.
Holding it down.
Good. Well,
it'll be a little wobbly sometimes.
You deserve to have some time away, which you did.
Yeah,
you worked for a week of that. Now, you didn't work the whole time in Hawaii. You had some fun.
Right.
But it was a work trip.
Yeah. Hawaii and Memphis back-to-back. Honolulu and Memphis back-to-back were good trips. Kind of odd going to Honolulu and then Memphis, but they were a little random. But I really enjoyed both places.
For those who missed the first hour, can you remind them what you want to title your book now?
I'm starting to have some fun.
As we all know, the book used to be called "I Missed Out on All the Fun" by Steve Sipple, and now I'm starting to have some fun. Yeah. I wish you had written the first one so we could have a follow-up of this one. I'm starting to have some fun.
The boys were good. Cashton, Alex, and Dominic were all good. They didn't complain. There was never any incidents. They get heated. When they talk about the NBA. There was one time in a little fish place that Dominic and Alex were getting after each other. I was like, guys, it's just NBA. And Cashton said, no, they do this all the time. They're getting heated discussions. Heated. When they start talking about top 10 players in the league, that type of stuff. It gets I thought I was going to have to break it up. But Cashton said, no, they do this all the time. Okay.
A fight was about to break out because
not a fist fight, but they were going after each other.
A verbal fight?
Pretty good at a place called Flying Fish, which is I don't know if it's a chain in Memphis. There was just one downtown. It's called Flying Fish. It's a restaurant. It's really good. Crazy.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. So anyway, we don't talk about hardball, right?
We do. 464-5685. Call or text as always. I want to do a comparison to the situations this segment for Michigan and Ohio State. Now, let's go to a common thing that Jim Harbaugh referred to Ryan Day as. He said some guys were born on third base, right? And that was kind of
taking a shot at Ryan Day.
To paraphrase something that Jim Harbaugh said, he kind of made fun of Ryan Day, saying some guys were born on third base, referring to where he was set up with a great situation for the Buckeyes. Urban Meyer left a great situation, not a bad situation. He left a great situation for Ryan Day to inherit, and he's done well there. He's done well at Ohio State, but obviously the last 3 years lost to Michigan. My question to you and the listeners is this at 464-5685. Is Michigan set up for Sharon Moore to succeed as much as it was for Ryan Day to succeed after Urban Meyer?
I think that, so just a couple numbers here. Urban was 54-4 in the Big Ten.
That's pretty good.
You think? Yeah, it's really good, isn't it?
54-4.
So Urban was 54-4 in Big Ten play, and that would have been over. I think he was there 6 years. Not quite as long as Harbaugh's 9 at Michigan. So Urban was 54-4 in the Big Ten. Harbaugh was 60-17, which is pretty good.
Pretty dang good still.
And that number, in the last 2 years.
Spiked.
Last 3 years, actually. It might have been 26-1. Is that possible?
I think that's right.
Yeah. Anyway, 60-17. Yeah. Is Sharon Moore walking into a similar situation? What changes is the transfer portal. We just got to look now. What's the exodus like at Michigan? And there's 30 days from the time the coaching change is made. The kids have 30 days, to enter the portal. So now you just got to start looking at what's the exodus like. I don't know what it'll be like. One of the reasons you hire Sharon Moore is to keep the band together. One of the big reasons.
We know the quarterback, McCarthy, is gone.
Corum's
Blake
gone.
Corum also gone to the draft.
Oh, they've lost a lot. Now, it's not just those guys. But that was before, it was before the news. But if you look at the players they lost, it's 7, 8, 9 key guys. They've lost a lot. So I don't know if you'd say it's similar. I'd have to look back to see what Day walked into more talent. That's what I'd say. Michigan looks like a team to me, and we talked about it last week with Bill. They look like a team that could slide back to 8 or 9 wins. The
schedule's tough, very tough.
Well, yeah, they have Texas, Washington, Oregon.
Ouch.
Yeah, they have Texas, Washington, Oregon. Just start it with that. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it'll be – I don't think it's going to be easy for Sharon Moore. The good thing is he inherits the culture. He inherits all the good habits that Jim put in place. Okay, let's put it this way. Harbaugh was 40-3 overall the last 3 years. Okay.
40-3.
40-3. So Sharon Moore inherits all those incredibly good habits and the culture that Jim laid down over a 9-year period. He'll inherit some of the assistants, although it looks like Jim has taken Jesse Minner with him, the defensive coordinator. It looks like he's taken his son, Jay Harbaugh, to be the San Diego Chargers special teams coordinator. And maybe a couple others, like the strength coach is the one to really watch, who they put an associate head coach tag on their strength coach. And that was the big, now I don't know if over the weekend, that was one of the big things in Michigan is Jim taking that guy with him to the Chargers. So Sharon Moore will get some of the staff. He won't get all of it. So now he'll have a good situation. Now, Ward Manuel said they didn't interview anybody else. He considered other candidates. Ward Manuel, the Michigan AD, considered other candidates, didn't interview anybody else.
Well, again, it's a similar thing it's the same thing. Ohio State, you could have gone out and hired somebody that had experience.
Right.
And they did. They went in-house with a guy that had coached some games in suspension time for Urban Meyer, and he succeeded in those games. Sharon Moore, same thing. He, based on what he did for that squad when Harbaugh could not coach.
4-0 with wins against Penn State and Ohio State. Sharon Moore.
Yep.
Pretty good audition.
Significant.
You know what else about Sharon Moore that I didn't know till I was reading stuff on the way home yesterday? Sharon Moore was suspended for the first game this year.
Didn't know that either.
This we can slide into a secondary topic here on this topic. Jake, if there's one takeaway, my biggest takeaway from Michigan's season and what we saw at Michigan over the last 2 years, it is, now let me elaborate. The lesson is winning creates enormous power. It is incredible that if you're winning, the things that people can overlook. Jim Harbaugh, Michigan did all it could to keep Jim Harbaugh, even though he has a level 1 violation in front of him right now. lying to an NCAA investigator. Michigan put a 6-year deal in front of him for $11.5 million despite a level 1 allegation. That doesn't have anything to do with Connor Stallions. Then there's the Connor Stallions deal. But they had recruiting violations during COVID. And one of them was a level 1 allegation that Jim lied to an investigator. Sharon Moore was part of those NCAA allegations. He was suspended. They still hired an internal candidate. If you're winning, people overlook everything. They did all they could to bring Jim back. Jim didn't want to come back probably because in the spring, he was going to have to go before the Committee on Infractions.
Yep, I don't blame Jim for that.
He didn't want to deal with that.
Get the heck out of there, man.
In the spring, Michigan will have to go before the Committee on Infractions, the NCAA Committee on Infractions. He still would have had to answer to that stuff. There's more coming.
I wonder, it's not the same situation, but so when Bill O'Brien went to Penn State, right? Yeah. Takes over a program that has all sorts of sanctions, all sorts of scholarship reductions, bowl ban.
Yeah.
I don't think that happens to Michigan, but it's definitely on the table.
Yeah,
all that stuff, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Significant punishments are on the table for Michigan that Sharon Moore and Ward Manuel will have to, take on themselves. But no, they won a championship still.
They won a championship. They went 40-3 the last 3 years. They went 15-0 this year. And if you win, it's basically forgiven. Jim left at a great time, man.
The best time.
60 years old.
He left on top.
All that stuff is in his wake.
Yep.
He just goes and starts another life with the San Diego Chargers.
As a hero.
Right.
Despite leaving away, just a pile of crap behind him.
Some crap.
A pile of crap with the crown on top of a title.
And it's not like Michigan pushed him away.
No,
they put an $11.5 million.
We'll fight this together, Jim.
Right.
We'll go down together.
Because if you win, all that stuff is seemingly forgotten. The Connor Stallions scandal, in quotes, scandal. Jim said, there's nothing there. Scandal. There's nothing. So now, but I think the story is really significant and it'll start sinking in. It changed. Like, look at how the top of the Big Ten changed, how it evolved just in the last 3 weeks or so, 4 weeks or so. Michigan's, without Jim, is going to take a step back. They probably won't be at the top of the Big Ten. Excuse me. Ohio State goes into the portal and cleans house.
Yep, they did.
Now you look at Ohio State as the top of the heap. Ohio State and Oregon. Washington, you thought maybe would be? Nope. Coach left. Quarterback's gone. Lost a bunch of guys. Roman Dunze. Is that his name?
Dunze, receiver.
So the top of the Big Ten evolved. It's not what you might have thought if Jim stayed. Michigan's going to stay up there. Nope. They're going to probably slide back. Ohio State, reeling. Nope. They're not reeling. Look at them. They're loaded. It's funny how
two amazing running backs in that team.
Yeah, it's Ohio State, Oregon at the top. Michigan, little probably the second tier. Washington, probably second tier, and that's it. There you go. Never would have guessed it.
No, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Sharon Moore operates again.
Yeah,
and the punishments, if there are any, how soon they come down, how severe they are that he has to inherit.
Well, here's the thing about Sharon Moore that makes sense to me. And why you would hire Sharon Moore. Because when he was leading Michigan in those last 4 games, he was coaching the offensive line. He was calling plays, and he was acting as the head coach. That is really hard to do.
Sure is.
I mean, ask Milt Tenniper, rest in peace, one of the best offensive line coaches to ever do it. But if you said to Milt, hey, by the way, you're going to call plays, and you're the acting head coach. That's a lot. There's not many guys that could do it. Now, if I were the AD at Michigan, I'd look at that and go, Sharon Moore went undefeated and he did all that? He coached the offensive line at a level where they were judged 2 years to be the best in the nation.
That's right. Yeah.
And then we made him the play caller And he took over as head coach and beat Penn State and Ohio State. Yeah, that's head coach material.
How about this from downtown Scott? He says, Michigan's hands are tied. Jim and Sharon know where all the bodies are buried. You can't bring anybody else into that program.
They considered others. Lance Leipold, Chris Kleiman. Who else? What other names did you see? Those are the names you saw. Those are the names you saw.
Yep.
I think most people figured there's just going to be Sharon
And
Moore.
it is.
Hands tied. Were their hands tied? A little bit, probably.
If you know you're hiding something and you know that somebody and you're on the same page as that person, they know what to say, what not to say, then yeah.
It is incredible when you read the stuff. Jim Harbaugh, there was the level 1 allegation. There was the big recruiting. They got NCAA violations for recruiting during the COVID dead period when they weren't supposed to be. Then there's the Connor Stallion scandal. And that's not even counting the FBI computer crime scandal. They ran an assistant coach out of there. The FBI was involved. And then you juxtapose all of that mess against, for instance, Santa Ono, the Michigan president, saying publicly how good of a friend Jim is. And this is an incredible loss for me personally and for the school. It's like nothing ever happened there. The president expresses zero misgivings about the
living
scandal.
in a different world right
when
now.
Jake, what it is when you win, when you go 15-0 and in a season and you go 40-3 over 3, that stuff goes away quick. People overlook it. It didn't mar anything. I'm not saying it pays to cheat, but I'm telling you this, if you win at that level, most everything is forgiven. That's what it looks like to me.
It feels like it at Michigan. It does. Yeah. And we'll see how they handle punishments coming their way, how soon those happen. But they will say, whatever, man.
What the hell?
We got our title.
We're 40-3 over 3 years.
40-3. We have a national championship, 3 Big Ten titles.
Yeah. We beat Ohio State.
Slap us all
3
you want.
straight years. If you beat Ohio State 3 straight years, I can't. I mean, come on. You can probably do about anything. Come on. So Sharon Moore, benefactor. Sharon Moore, just a few years ago, Jake, he was coaching tight ends and running backs at Central Michigan. I mean,
life has changed for him.
Oh, pretty dramatically.
It's changed quite a bit.
Yeah.
So congrats to him, and we'll see again if it is identical to Ryan Day, take it over for Urban Meyer or not. But when we come back, interesting story at Colorado with Prime and his sons. I want to break this down next on Early Break on the Ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Vershawn Jackson, the captain here for The Body Shop. And man, did they hook me up with a great massage recently. The captain has a lot of stress in his life, as many people do. And for 1 hour, it was all relief. The team at The Body Shop gave me a deep tissue massage that hit every area that I was in pain at. Whether you're looking for a Swedish massage, sports massage, deep tissue, hot stone, aroma, or more, there's only one place to go. The Body Shop at 48th NA. Book an appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com.
Bagels & Joe is celebrating 31 years of business this year. With 4 Lincoln locations and 1 in Seward, there's more options for your favorite breakfast spot in town. And don't forget the Joe card for unlimited drip coffee for just $8.95 per person per month. Bagels & Joe, celebrating 31 years of serving Lincoln and the surrounding areas.
Problem gambling can destroy an individual's finances, relationships, physical, and mental health. If you are a loved one or struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex at West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-2840.
Barbecue. It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Coming up in Lincoln, February 2nd through 4th at the Sandhills Global Event Center, it's the family show of all outdoors, the 55th annual Boat, Sport, and Travel Show. With RVs, motorhomes, boats, trailers, discount tackle, and family fun for everyone. Interact with exotic animals at wildlife encounters and appearances by Husker football players. Veterans free on Friday, lots of free parking. Doors open at noon on Friday, 10 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. See you there!
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. This.
Anybody who knows me knows I was cocky out of the womb.
Is Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Get to Prime here in a second, Colorado. Quick plug. We love Holdridge. We love the town of Holdridge.
Yes,
we do. First Rate Ag is in Holdridge, and they are a full-service ag retailer offering everything from crop protection to lawn fertilizer. They've been around for 25 years. Reach out to Parker or Chris at firstrateag.com or call 308-995-8327 and mention The Ticket again. First Rate Ag in Holdridge. Pretty proud of myself. During the break, you were trying to identify a former Memphis Grizzly from years past, and I got it.
You nailed it. He was seated courtside on Friday night, and he doesn't make I kind of give him credit. We'll say his name in a second. He didn't make a big deal of himself, but he walked in and he was slapping hands with some of the Memphis Grizzlies officials and people courtside. And I was like, man, I recognize that dude. He's tall, 6'7", former player, obviously. Then he took his seat courtside, and it was
Mike Miller.
You nailed it.
The pride of Mitchell, South Dakota.
Yeah, you and Joshua both nailed
Florida Gator, Mike Miller. Played a lot of places. Played at the Miami Heat. Won a title with the Heat.
And
Mason. Oh, there's a player on Creighton. Is Mike Miller's son, Mason Miller.
Mason Miller
at Creighton
is Mike Miller's son.
Yep.
Well, Mike Miller is 43, so it adds up.
Yep.
He's 43 years old, and nobody cares about this except it was kind of interesting.
Like random facts.
You nailed it.
Well, I was just trying to think. You said it was a white 3-point shooter.
Yeah, good 3-point shooter.
How many? It's got to be Mike Miller.
Yeah, you nailed it.
He bounced around for a lot of teams. You know, he's with I think the Nuggets for a while, or the Heat, the T-Wolves, maybe even the Magic at one point.
And maybe he resides in Memphis.
I think he does.
The other thing, interesting, and I didn't know that Justin Timberlake is a Memphis. He's a big deal. No,
I can't imagine being at a Magic Grizzlies game.
No, Timberlake. No, Timberlake's from Memphis. He also has a degree from the University of Nebraska High School. They called it. Didn't know that.
What?
Yeah. Go look it up on Wiki. I just wikied Timberlake yesterday on the way home because they're making kind of a big deal. He's doing something, maybe a concert at the FedEx Forum or something. And they kept referred to him as like a Memphis, a Memphis native. And I was looking at his wiki page, and he's a graduate of the he and both Britney Spears are graduates of the University of Nebraska High School.
It can't be real.
So it says on Wiki.
Did you research what that actually was?
Not really. He got
so if Wiki says so, it's true.
Well, I don't know. I'm not as down on Wiki as a lot.
I'm not down on it, but that one seems a little sketch. Just saying.
Josh, can you
Britney
verify
Spears
that
and
for me?
JT?
Yeah, pretty sure it's Britney Spears too. They were once an item.
By the way, we have heard from Bill Busch this morning. He has chimed in. He says he is going to be with Shin Daddy at Midwest Bank today in Creighton. Today.
So the bank is open.
It's open. So they're planning out something, I'm sure.
Okay.
Bill and Shin Daddy in Creighton,
Yeah.
Midwest Bank.
I figured Bill would be involved in some of this stuff in some form because his sister's married to Shin Daddy.
Yeah. It has to be.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
So he's at Midwest Bank in Creighton.
Yes.
Bill's
where we
doing
should
that.
all be at Midwest Bank in Creighton.
Bill will be back tomorrow.
He will be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Here in studio with us. Saw this story over the weekend, and I just didn't really know what to think about it, Sip, because what do we know about Deion Sanders? He's very wealthy, right?
I guess.
Very wealthy individual for his time in the NFL.
One would think.
As a broadcaster, obviously, with all the endorsements he still has, he's doing several things on TV. You see it all the time with commercials. He's not struggling for money.
You wouldn't
He's not poor.
think. You wouldn't think.
So, Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, this weekend, apparently, his sons, Shiloh and Shadur and Deion Jr., decided to purchase their father a house near the university in Boulder. Now, he already has a house in Longmont.
In Longmont.
In Longmont.
That's what I read. Now, will he keep the house in Longmont?
I assume, well, he's not paying for that one. He's not paying for this one, apparently. His sons purchased the house for him.
So why do you need a house? I mean, I'm not critical. This is a nice gesture by the Suns. I'm not being critical at all here. But why do you need a house in Longmont and Boulder?
Listen, if you're Coach Prime, you need several places to occupy, to escape to.
You just have ridiculous wealth. You do stuff like that, right?
I can't imagine my kids in college, 3 of them, combining to buy me a house. Like, number one, why? I don't need that. I don't need a house.
I would be.
Listen, I am your dad. I have more money than anybody. I don't need you to buy me a house.
Now, Deion was very grateful.
He of course he was grateful. I would be confused, but he was grateful. Hey, kids, thanks. You know, I've got millions of dollars of my own. If I wanted to buy a house, I would do it myself.
You don't sound particularly grateful right now.
You have NIL money, and you spent it on me. I'm just confused. I don't understand.
And I got a house in Longmont.
Coach Prime, who has millions upon millions of dollars, having himself a house bought for him by his children.
And I have a house in Longmont.
He doesn't need a house bought for him.
I guess if you're being real, you'd say, why are you doing this? Spend your money elsewhere. I don't need a house. I have one.
You just put your NIL money on me.
I don't know.
for
Expensive
a home.
house that I don't need.
I didn't see the price of the house. It wasn't listed anywhere.
I guarantee it's not $100,000.
I bet it's in the millions, which is a story in itself that his kids bought that for him.
Oh, God. Yeah, you're right.
I said the story. I said, I don't understand why this is, again, what a gesture by the children.
It is
by
a
the kids. The children, his kids, grown adults, still, school, but it's an odd look.
Okay,
they're still in college. Shador and Shiloh are playing this year, their last year in college.
Then they'll be in the NFL.
And they bought him a house.
Here's what I'd do if I were in and see how now we gotta be careful about getting into the family business here, but I think the correct response would be, I am really grateful, kids, and I appreciate this. This is an incredible gesture that you would take the time to do this, because it requires, that requires some elbow grease to buy a house, right? And you have to think it out and get the right one and get it all going. I appreciate that, but I don't need this, guys. I don't need it.
I don't need this. I am your dad.
I'm making $5.5 million from the University of Colorado alone, and that's just part of my income. And I already got a house in Longmont.
Do you watch TV? I have endorsements for days. I'm with Aflac still. I'm with, I don't know if he's State Farm. Avocados. With some sort of avocados. Sunglasses. The man has money upon money.
By the way, I looked at his sunglasses. Those are nice glasses.
Well, I would assume so. Do you think he wears anything that's not good?
You can buy them.
Crappy?
That would be a good gift for somebody. Those are nice sunglasses. Shout out to Prime. Those are nice. So he's got, it's odd. So you're just looking at this as odd.
It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous idea. The thought of it. That anybody's buying him a house. I mean, I could see maybe part of a contract. Hey, if I take the job at Colorado, you buy me a house. Okay, maybe that's part of the contract. But your kid's paying you for your house?
Yeah. Now he released a statement on it in some social media forum, and he did express a lot of gratitude. Of course he did. It's his boys bought him a house. But I wonder if behind the scenes he's saying, why'd you buy me a house? I don't need this house. It's just me.
What am I supposed to do with this?
He's not with his lady friend anymore. It's just now I'm a single guy with two houses, and they're two big houses. I could just live in a condo and be okay.
It'd be just fine. It'd be a nice condo. Why do you get this house? Ridiculous.
Damn house.
Sean says we need to get Sip in a picture with Prime sunglasses on.
I like those sunglasses. I do. I'd wear them.
We take gifts in the show. We take some Prime sunglasses.
I just order them right off his website.
Make it happen.
Help him pay for that luxury house.
How about OG Les Lancaster says Reggie Bush lost his Heisman. Prime's kids are spending millions on homes. Different times.
It's a little strange.
Different times.
It's a little strange.
Oh.
Yeah, Shador and Shiloh will go off to the NFL. Does Deion Jr., is he a deal?
I don't know.
Shiloh and Shador are going to make a lot of money. Shador for sure, right? I mean, you're more of an NFL dude than I am.
Shador will be a pro.
He can play in the NFL.
I don't know if he's a first round pick or what, but he's a pro.
He can play. He's coming back though. They're both going to be back at Colorado. They'll be in Lincoln. Shador and Shiloh will be in Lincoln in September.
You struck something before we get to the game show. You mentioned going back to Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears. As you would assume, when Nebraska gets brought up about something, we get a lot of texts about this.
Good.
Chris Raff, who will join us here next segment, sent me some information on the University of Nebraska High School.
Raff.
And there's other people texting and confirming this. He says, this is from Wiki, so I'll go with that. University of Nebraska High School, UNHS, is an accredited university-based online high school institution operated by the University of Nebraska. In the U.S., it offers distance education high school courses, which allows its students to earn high school credit or a diploma from anywhere in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So celebrities do this. Apparently.
Timberlake did it. And I think Britney Spears. Right. So he's a Memphis native he's got a high school diploma earned.
I don't know if this is Sledge in Carolina who take this if this is real or not, but he says this. My friend's dad was a teacher for Timberlake and Britney. UNL used to have the best remote online high school in the country. It was used by a lot of child actors and performers.
Well, I believe him. I believe that.
How was that school? That was
Dredge?
That was Sledge.
Sledge.
Sledge in North Carolina.
Not Dredge. Sledge. Thank you, Sledge. I believe Sledge. 100%. I believe.
I'd like to know how those two were in school. I bet JT is really smart.
Oh, I guarantee it. Guaranteed.
Britney
smart.
Spears. I wonder how smart she was or is.
I mean,
in
I
school.
don't know, but
Mr. Sparky says lots of Disney kids do that.
Is that right?
So I guess it's a legitimate. I had no idea.
Legitimate.
See, listen, I don't get surprised very often.
Well, you just got
I'm
surprised.
surprised here.
That's strange.
I'm surprised.
You're surprised I was right. You're surprised I was right.
That didn't sound right. It didn't sound right.
Nailed it though, didn't I?
Didn't sound right. So there you go. Deion Sanders' kids buying him a house, and apparently JT was a University of Nebraska high school graduate. That's the things you learn on an early break today.
I'm glad you brought up that Deion Sanders thing. It is interesting.
I could not. I said, "Come on." I said, "Really?
Why are you buying me a house? I already have one in Longmont, and I got all the money I need. What am I going to do with this damn house? Just buy me a little condo. I could have come in and lived there." He's single. He doesn't have a bunch of kids.
What if Jim Harbaugh's kids bought him a house? That'd be a little bit weird, wouldn't it?
I would just be annoyed right now if someone bought me a house. I mean, well, I don't need this house. I don't need it.
What do I owe you for this?
Then I'm going to sell it. So.
Listen, I'm going to sell this, so I get the proceeds here, the profits. Let's play the game. So give us a call right now, 402-464-5685. Your chance to win a business box of bagels to Bagels and Joe. Friday, you were gone, Sip. We did Seinfeld trivia. Bill got both questions right, but lost in the tiebreaker. What would you guess for Jerry Seinfeld's age?
Jerry Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll play this game. 57.
Okay, that's way off. 69.
Jeez.
69 years old.
Jeez.
Bill had guessed 64. The caller went over that. And so
Jerry Seinfeld's
69.
Wow, he's aged well.
69 years old.
He has aged gracefully.
Yep.
Won't you say?
He has.
God, I hope I look older than him right now. And I'm 55. How could it's weird.
Well, today's topic is not Seinfeld. It is Super Bowl starting quarterbacks of the past. And here's the hint, Sip. They've all been losers. Super Bowl losing starting quarterbacks of the past. I will give you the team they played for, what year, the opponent, all that stuff. You tell me the quarterback's name.
I know this is a blind spot for me because, as you know, for many years I didn't watch the Super Bowl.
Well, let's see how it goes for you. 464-5685. Shut Up Sipple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
All right, 464-5685. Call the takedown Sip in trivia. Again, Super Bowl starting quarterbacks of the past. These guys are losers. They lost the game. They made it, but they lost.
Okay.
We have James. James, how do you feel about Super Bowl losing quarterbacks of the past?
Oh, I think okay.
All right, well, there's no lifeline. It's mano y mano today because Bill cannot help you today. You don't feel good about this, Sip.
No.
All right, well, first question
Not
goes
great.
to James. James, here we go. What quarterback started for the New York Giants in their Super Bowl 35 loss to the Ravens in the 2000 season?
Kerry Collins.
Is it Kerry Collins? Yes.
Brilliant.
It is from?
Kerry Collins is from Boston College.
He went to Penn State.
Penn State, okay. Shouldn't have thrown that out there, probably. Go
Why?
ahead. Well, Boston College is not a great guess.
Yeah, well, it's the right part of the country,
Yeah.
at least. All right, Sip, down 1-0. First question. What quarterback started for the Seahawks in their Super Bowl 40 loss to the Steelers in the 2005 season? Yeah, it's not a good time when you're laughing. It means you got a stupid guess coming.
Not Jim Zorn.
Well, please don't say that. 2005, Sip. 5 seconds. Lost to the Steelers. 5.
Last name Klein.
Don't know of a
I don't think there
declining
was
quarterback at Seattle.
I can't. I can't go. Oh, I think
Don't
I got
say
it. I
Don't
won't.
say it.
I won't.
James, do you want that one or not?
I'm going to pass.
Okay, that'd be. What was the other guess going to be?
Warren Moon.
even worse than Klein.
Okay, who?
That would be Matt Hasselbeck.
Matt Hasselbeck, now of ESPN.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
For the,
Is he still with ESPN?
I haven't seen him for a while, but I assume he's there in some capacity.
Might be. You know what I think he does? Fantasy football. I think he does that. Slid back into the ranks a little bit.
All right, James, for the win, your last question up 1-0. What quarterback started for the Raiders in their Super Bowl 37 loss to the Bucks in the 2002 season?
Oh, come on. I know that one. James, I know this.
5 seconds, James.
I know this one, James,
5,
for sure.
4, 3.
Jim Plunkett.
Jim Plunkett.
Wow, this quarter
Plunkett was there quite a bit before 02.
This quarterback has a strong tie to a former Nebraska head coach. Am I on the right track, Jake? Rich Gannon.
Brilliant. Rich Gannon is correct. Now, chance for the outright win. How about that? Got the steal. 1-1 tie. Sip for the win. Last question. What quarterback started for the Titans in their Super Bowl 34 loss to the Rams in the 1999 season?
Say that again. Titans?
What quarterback started for the Titans in their Super Bowl 34 loss to the Rams?
Dilfer.
Trent Dilfer. Trent Dilfer was on the Baltimore Ravens. James, do you want that one or not?
Never played for the Titans?
No.
I'm going to go with Steve McNair.
Brilliant.
Yes, the answer is the late Steve McNair. So, James, we'll get you bagels. Thanks for calling in. Nice win and calling down the road. Nice win for James today.
Good job, James.
I'm stunned you didn't get Steve McNair.
Nah, who you dealing with here? There's a little bit.
What happened there?
Oh, it was a case of not being locked in and focused. But I don't know that I would have pulled that in any circumstance.
Okay.
To be quite honest.
I really liked my tiebreaker, so I'm going to ask you this anyways.
Okay.
You didn't get to it, but.
Okay.
All right. Lock in.
All right.
How many quarterbacks in NFL history have started more than one Super Bowl?
Okay. It's a great one. It's a great.
This would be Super
Can you
Bowl.
say how many?
This would be 58
Yes,
this year,
58.
I believe. 58 this year.
How many have started multiple? I'll say 12.
I would probably guess like 12 to 21.
Whoa.
21 players have had more than one Super Bowl start.
That's an interesting stat.
There's no way if I had got the question, I would ever put it that high. I would say 12 to 15. Or maybe even less than that.
Yeah. 21. It's not, we're not going to do this either. We're not going to start naming them.
No, I can take the lower ones. Like Craig Morton started for the Cowboys in one and the Broncos in one. 0-2. And up from there's a bunch of people, but
interesting. 21
quarterbacks have started more than one Super Bowl.
Plunkett's one. 2 teams.
Yeah, I don't have the whole list ahead of me, so
I gotta be careful about throwing out bad facts. I just said Plunkett started for 2 teams. I don't know about that. But it seems like he was in a couple. Plunkett,
probably so.
Jim
Kelly. Yep, there you go.
Was in a few. Montana, obviously. Bradshaw, obviously.
Aikman.
Tarkington, obviously. Aikman, obviously. Wasn't Tarkington in a couple?
Yes, I think so. That sounds right.
I mean,
yes, all 21 of them. And there's no way to get all 21.
Danny White, was he in?
I don't know for sure how many he was in.
Interesting.
I do know you lost today, though.
Tom Brady.
Oh, you don't say. Tom Brady.
Pat Mahomes.
You say Terry Bradshaw already?
Yeah. Patty Mahomes.
Steve Young.
How about that stat we threw out earlier in the show? Patty Mahomes, 14-3 in the NFL playoffs.
And people try to convince me the Dolphins are going to beat that guy. I said, there's no way. You don't understand.
Yeah.
It's Mahomes in the playoffs. I don't care about the regular season. It's a different season, and they know how to win. They've proven that with 2 road wins in a row.
He is a really mentally tough, smart player. I mean, that's just
Wouldn't
stating
that be
the
fun
obvious.
to have that? Wouldn't that be fun?
He's an amazing. Yeah, he's. 14-3. That's quite an organization right now.
That is a winner. When we come back, the spillover with Chris Raff and AD on Early Breaking the Ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
People always ask, what are Jake and Sip like when they're off the air? Well, the answer probably won't surprise you.
Hey, Jake, your Honda's looking a little dirty.
Says the guy whose license plate is barely visible.
I mean, do you even care about that thing anymore?
It gets a little uncomfortable. Now, that's when I jump in.
Hey, whoa. Mark, did you get a new car?
Nope, just took my car down to Nebraska Auto Detail. Joe and the staff made the outside and the inside look amazing. Maybe you guys need to go.
Okay, wise guy.
Settle down, Jake.
Book your appointment today at NebraskaAutoDetail.com.
Go hog wild, pit barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round. And their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Why are New Year's resolutions always about getting to the gym more or dieting? We fail ourselves before the first month of the year is already over. Why not resolve to eat better, tastier foods in 2024? Look no further than Fuhrer's cheese spread. Stop eating your apples, vegetables, crackers, and chips plain. Give them some flavor. Fuhrer's cheese spread awakens your taste buds. Now that's how you start a new year. Find your container of Fuhrer's cheese spread today at your local grocery store.
Junior Achievement at Lincoln inspires and prepares today's young dreamers to be tomorrow's goal breakers, leaders, and things we haven't even imagined yet. Help more kids while having a great time at the JA Bowl-a-thon. Sign your team up and raise money to ensure the educational programs focused on financial literacy, career readiness, and entrepreneurship are always free to thousands of students. The JA Bowl-a-thon is February 16th and 17th at Parkway Lanes and Hollywood Bowl. Register at lincoln.ja.org.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, is hosting their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney, Nebraska, January 31st through February 1st. Landmark Sprayer Clinic offers expansive equipment and technology training on John Deere and Hagie sprayers. Learn about the newest technology, machine maintenance, spray tip selection, exact apply sprayers, and more. Free dicamba certification will be available. Join Landmark at their sprayer clinic January 31st and February 1st in Kearney. Find more information at landmarkimp.com/events.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning. Now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Well, good morning, little brother. Is Early Break with Zip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is time for the spillover, sponsored by Computer Hardware. Are you upgrading your iPad, or you just have questions on what Apple device is best for you? Don't go anywhere else for all your Apple product needs. Computer Hardware has been around since 1980 with a team of experts to help you with locations in Lincoln, Hastings, Kearney, and Grand Island. Stop by and see them today. Computer Hardware, Nebraska's Apple store. Raph, what's going on?
Good morning.
Good morning, Raph. How are you?
Good.
We were doing something during the break. Raph loves trivia. Okay?
Yes.
And we were trying to figure out all the quarterbacks of the 21 that had started 2 Super Bowls or more, and we probably got the majority of them, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
21 quarterbacks have started multiple Super Bowls. This is Super Bowl number 58. Raph.
Danny White, 0. However,
Danny White was 0, Jay.
I started to wonder a little bit. I think he came actually a year after they won in 78, but
okay.
Or 77, 78 season. Remember he was a punter.
Danny White?
Yeah.
Okay. He has a computer mind. Does Raph.
So I could not remember if he was the starting punter for the Cowboys in the 77 Super Bowl, but I think he came a year later.
I gave the Craig Morton shout out.
Oh, yeah.
That's your favorite.
That's
Broncos
my first
for-
ever.
Morton was terrible.
Whoa.
Oh, man.
That was my first ever favorite player.
I'm sure I could beat Morton in a foot race right now when he was in his prime.
He started 2 Super Bowls. 2.
I know. He was all right. I mean, obviously.
He had a great arm. Pretty much wasn't mobile.
No, he wasn't.
But he could throw the football.
And when he was 26, he looked like he was 46. Remember that?
Yeah.
I'm talking a little bit out of turn.
Good old Craig Morton.
I
cried so hard when he retired.
The other thing we want to mention is 3 Big Ten teams did win on the road in recent days.
Purdue won at Rutgers 68-60. I know Iowa won at Michigan this weekend. Michigan's terrible, but they did win that game, pulled it out late. And then
somebody won at Penn State. Josh got it.
I don't know who. Yeah.
He's on it.
Penn State
He's
stinks
on it. He's
too.
going to get
Going
it.
to Inkport.
Penn State stinks. Come on. I mean, would
They
you say
beat
that against
Wisconsin.
Maryland?
That's the only team to beat Wisconsin, I think, so far as Penn State.
Minnesota.
Yeah, okay.
So now the thing that you're hearing a lot right now, again, I get it. People love Fred and I like him. People take up for him.
Sure?
And now the excuses are,
Sure about that?
Now the excuses are nobody's winning on the road. Well, 3 teams did this weekend. They went on the road in the Big Ten. You can do it. It's not impossible. But I will say this, there's a whole segment on College Game Day basketball. Jay Williams, Jay Billis were talking the other day. It's a college basketball issue that teams aren't winning on the road. I guess you call it an issue, but it's not happening. And Jay Williams, it's Jay Williams, right?
Yeah.
Jay Williams. He was saying he says he identified NIL transfer portal as the issue.
Yeah.
That you don't. When Jay Williams played, he played on those great Duke teams, and he said those guys were together. They were together all the time. They bonded, and that's how you go win on the road. You're a tough-minded team that's played together, and that's how you win on the road. Now you don't see as many of those teams because these guys have their vagabonds. They come in with their own personal coaches, their entourages, and I don't know if there's entourages, but you know what I'm saying. And Jay Williams said that's probably a reason. Jay Bills totally shut him down and said, boo-hoo, players are getting paid, deal with it, and there's other reasons for this.
So with that, we can pencil in the Wisconsin game as a W on Thursday?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
I don't know
No,
if
they're
it'll be
only
that
8-1, no big deal. They've won many road games this year in conference
But
play.
I think Nebraska,
no biggie.
Nebraska basketball is very predictable, though, right?
Yeah.
And if you're going by what you'd expect in the predictability factor, yeah, they'll beat Wisconsin, and they'll go lose on the road. Then they'll beat somebody good at home. Then they'll lose on the road. And
they go 10-10 in the conference play.
They'll go
But
10.
you can't go in and have 18 turnovers and get out rebounded by 18 rebounds. You're not going to win.
No, it was a bad.
But that's the trend on the road, though. I mean,
here's what I would look at going
Every
forward.
time.
If Maryland, if you can press, if you have the team that's able to press, you do that against Nebraska.
Correct.
I mean, that's the way to slow Nebraska's half-court offense down is don't let them start their half-court offense until well into the shot clock. Now, that's what you look at going forward. If you can judge a team's roster, if you're smart enough to do it, can this team pressure? Do they pressure? Do they pressure effectively? Because if Nebraska faces a team that can press, that's a problem. If Nebraska plays a team that can press and has an enforcer inside, like Jake said, then they're in real trouble, right? Maryland can press.
Julian Reese is a dude inside.
So is there any on Ulyss? Is there any word will they have any decision on him in the next?
Yeah, there's been a decision. He's not playing this year.
He's not playing this year.
But they put him on the roster. Every time they say Ulyss is out today, he's actually listed on the travel roster.
That's what
as not playing.
I don't think he's playing this year
because they were talking about on the on the Peacock Network. They were talking about they were still waiting to. So I was like,
it's an NCAA
because I thought he was out for the year.
I thought he's ruled out for the year.
Then I was sitting there. I'm like, they make it sound like maybe there's a chance. So I don't know.
Okay,
there was never official word on that. We never had officially Aaron Ulyss is out for the season.
Let's not talk about this because we don't know. Aaron Ulyss, I don't know what the deal is. He's a point guard. He's a transfer point guard from Iowa who was involved in the gambling probe. And I thought it was cut and dried. He's not playing this year. I still think that's what it is.
But he's still listed as out on the roster when they put out who's playing and who's not.
Yeah.
Now, Jamarcus Lawrence, 2 assists and 4 turnovers. He's not.
It's just been a rough year for him.
Pretty rough.
Yeah.
He's not in his defense, he's not bred to be a point guard.
Yeah, he's going to play out of position.
Yeah.
So, but when he plays good, he plays good. So,
well, Jamarcus Lawrence was such a key to last year that the last half of the season when they got hot, he was hot.
Right.
Lawrence was the best player on the team for many games last year. And so you thought, okay, he's got to be on the court. He's important, but you just don't turn to a point guard overnight. And it has not worked well for him.
No, I mean, there are a lot of people, smarter people than us, that will say you're either a point guard or you're not.
Yep.
It's like you either read defenses well or you don't. And some people just say you can't. It's hard to teach somebody to be a point guard.
Rink Master reminded me of my golf game. Birdie on one hole, double bogey on the next.
Yeah, he didn't have a game.
He only had 5 shots in the game.
Only took 5, 2 for 5.
Yeah. 2 3. One of his 3-point attempts was blocked. He had a 3-point attempt blocked, I think, by Julian Reese. That gets in your head if you're a big man.
Maryland is now 5-5 in the Big Ten. What are they? 13-8.
Yep.
13-8 overall. Maryland they're sneaky. I mean, they had come off a win at Iowa.
That's right.
And they are really, Bill talked about it last week. Like when you look at them on the hoof, they're a good looking team. I mean, they're a physical, big bodied, good looking team. So I thought their record was a little misleading, and I knew they'd be full of confidence coming off the aisle.
They had a rough start, like the first 4 or 5 games of the year in general. They had some bad losses, but ever since then they figured it out. And the thing is, they were saying in the broadcast, Maryland is a bad 3-point shooting team, and they have bad bench play. Well, guess what? They made 11 threes, and they had 25 points off the bench from 2 guys. So that's what happened on Saturday. Nebraska if started off very quickly, 12-2 lead off the bat, 15-8, and then gone.
I wonder if this week, don't you think Fred will be working on press break?
I would assume. I would say yes.
Working against pressure. I don't know that Wisconsin. I don't know what they offer or what Wisconsin. If Wisconsin can turn up the heat, if they can use 3/4 court pressure. I don't know if Wisconsin's that type of team or not. But if I were an opposing coach and you're watching a Maryland film, I'd be thinking, okay, we can pressure this guy. Do it at the right time. You got to do it at the right times. Yep. But I would do, if Nebraska were hot like they started against Maryland, it would be, if you can do it, I'd put pressure on them. I'd make them, because what happens is then they get into their offense late. And then they have to hurry a little bit.
Messed up.
Yeah,
the flow was
that's
messed
it.
up.
That's a good way to put it.
Nebraska again against Wisconsin here at PBA on Thursday. That is it for us, for Steve Sipple and Chris Raff. The Drive is next. We'll see you tomorrow.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service,